Mr. Kirby, talking about this very example of how allies themselves could come into conflict while sort of cheering in another issue, another conflict zone. We've seen what has been happening between the US and Turkey. They have been long-term alliances through NATO. And yet at the same time, would you say that Turkey has used its role over the S-400 conflict and how it was pressurizing to attack northeast Syria, almost like a leverage against sort of pushing the US in a corner?
Well, before we talk about Turkey, I'd like to mention a particular quote by Alexander III, Tsar of Russia, is that Russia's only allies are its army and its navy. And in reality, that's the way the world works, because we can make all the agreements we want on paper or with handshakes, but in a lot of ways they don't matter. So right now, Turkey is being a very good NATO partner and wanting to try to create that 30-kilometer deep border zone within the territory of Syria, which is all nice for NATO, but then, yes, a couple weeks ago, it was buying S-400 systems from Russia. The explanation of that is Turkey wants to pursue its own policy, and it's strong enough to do that. One of the important things to understand when we're talking about alliances is it's a power dynamic. You can't have an alliance between an extremely strong force and an extremely weak force. You can only have alliances between, relatively speaking, equal forces. Otherwise, you have a lord and vassal situation, which you see right after World War II, where it destroyed Europe. The United States entered to the west, the Soviet Union entered to the east, created NATO, and then the Warsaw Pact, which weren't really alliances, but more of a lord-vassal division of Europe.